Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I am checking my volumes, and as you know, Mr. B, who does work at Linqto, my sponsor, hates it when I check my volumes, and so we always dedicate this portion of the program to him. He thinks I should be a little more organized and have my volumes already checked, so it drives him crazy. Mr. B is a type A guy. We can't all have all of our ducks in a row all the time. And Lord knows on this channel I've got some technical issues and otherwise. Now, I want to bring everybody's attention back to John Deaton here. John Deaton, this caught my attention when he said this. Ripple repurchased its shares at 11 billion valuation, but with 1 billion in cash on the balance sheet, plus over 40 billion XRP held in escrow. At today's XRP price, one could argue Ripple's true valuation is over $100 billion. Well, this caught my attention because it reminded me of something. We were in wine country at a Linqto meetup when Linda P. Jones, who you can follow right here, very smart lady. She was a financial, I guess a broker for, or an investment banker for like years. I can't remember which company. Was it Merrill Lynch, or I think it was one of them. But anyway, very smart lady. When she said this,
than you were a year ago. I mean, it is an incredible.
I can't do anything about this volume, so you're going to have to just kind of listen up.
Still, and that's why we say don't pay attention to what is the share price. Some people say, oh, it's expensive because it's a $40 share price. But it's not the price of the share, it's the value of the company that you want to look at, because a valuation of something like $6.6 billion with Ripple has the potential to IPO at a much greater value. So just as a comparative measure, some of you have heard me say this. How many people have heard me do that level of calculation? Some of you? Thank you. So we can compare Ripple to other companies that are like companies, that are similar companies. And that's kind of hard to do, except for one company, and that's Coinbase, that was on the Linqto platform and went public at a valuation of $86 billion. So Ripple being at $6.6 billion right now, and Coinbase going public at $86 billion, that's more than 10 times where Ripple is right now. So that's why I say, I think, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, I think that the potential for Ripple could be more than a 10-time improvement in your initial investment. So if you invested $10,000 in Ripple, it could become a $100,000 investment. And that's just if it doesn't do as well as Coinbase did. If it does better than Coinbase, which it could, and it could for one very important reason, and that is because right now Ripple holds their XRP asset at zero value on their balance sheet. So there's no value right now for XRP on the Ripple balance sheet. So if Ripple does value XRP at 50 cents today, or whatever it is selling at today, or if they're able to give it a higher valuation because it moves up from where it is today, if it went to its old highs at roughly 384. 384,
which we're getting close to.
Yeah, 384. That put us at over a 14x valuation, where $10,000 invested could become $140,000. So the potential with Ripple, I think, is one of the best on the Linqto platform.
Okay. But this wasn't the only interesting clip. This was when Rob Cunningham's sitting right there. This is Rob, by the way. If you don't follow him, he's very active on social media. He has YouTube and also is very active in his X profile. Give him a follow at KUWL Show. very smart guy, but also he's one of the nicest people I have met since I got in this. And he is a 1,000%. He's the kind of guy that would do anything for you. That type dude. But listen to what he's kind of asking a question, but he's kind of thinking out loud. Listen to this.
It's like Bill Brown called on stage. Y'all remember when he goes, "We don't really like all the noise. That's not the use case for the Ripple. It's thinly traded institutional stuff. That's not why we're here." So my question to Drew is it better for XRP or Ripple to the public at a higher price, or if the market is not allowed to, the price of Ripple minus the institutional adoption for which it was created remains separated before IPO, how the hell do you evaluate a company that's not even doing what it's built to do? If all it's doing is trading.
In other words, what he's saying is, how do you value a company like Ripple and not even include that XRP escrow? And what happens when you do?
Loud noise retail investors, and then it goes public, and then they flip the switch. That doesn't make any sense. Or it shorts Ripple. They need to let us see what the actual value is, and not what some reported price is, based on 2% of the minnows flopping around in the fishbowl. They need to show us what the value is, and then value the company, and then go IPO. Yeah. It makes sense to me.
Yeah. So what they're all dancing around is, back then these are all smart people. What they're dancing around is what we're watching right now. Has Ripple been waiting not just for the regulatory problems to get passed, but also to be able to start flipping on real USD and all the other things that would drive the XRP price up, and then announce IPO, because then you can get a valuation that you really are deserving of. Then you can put XRP on your balance sheet in the midst of that. Then you have the largest IPO in the history of the United States, beating, guess what? I think that would beat the Alibaba China IPO that Bill Hinman and Jay Clayton did. What would the irony of that be? Isn't that the one that holds the record, I think? But I say all that to tell you, I went into Linqto and I looked. Linqto is my sponsor. The valuation is at the last time they had it for sale. My understanding is, from looking in there, is that the last valuation was $11.3 billion. This is fascinating stuff, folks. They don't have Ripple equity on the platform right now, but go to linqto.com or download the app, and you can go ahead and get your account set up, find out if you're accredited and all that, and then fund your account and be ready just in case they do add it back. Check it out. Dark Defender XRP is super bullish. An update will be with you in 22 minutes. And here came the update. XRP has almost finalized ABC corrective wave and pattern daily time frame. It will be confirmed if XRP breaks 252. I expect XRP to break within 24 hours, road to 585, then $18.22, not financial advice. Then we got this guy. The historical alt season will start in 7 days. Dominance peaked and alts will go parabolic. $100 will turn into $100,000 with right alts. Here's right low caps with 1,000 times. He's pointing to all these little Mickey Mouse things. I don't get involved in that. Whether you do is your business. I'm not a financial advisor. Ask your financial advisor. But what I am confident of is that XRP and all of crypto, not all, but most of crypto, is about to go nuts. This is why XRP Las Vegas has already, I think we're going to be over 1,000 tickets sold by January. How's that for a bold move? That's how ready everybody is to go. This could be considered like a proper party part 2, but I mean, last year XRP Las Vegas was bigger than the proper party in New York. Okay, last year. This year, I'm predicting 4 or 5 times. Okay, how about that? And we got Cody Carbone from the Digital Chamber coming, Chris Giancarlo's coming, Simon McLaughlin, CEO of Uphold, Kevin Maloney, CEO of iTrustCapital. Just found out John Deaton is coming. There's a whole laundry list of people that are going to be added to this. They just haven't added them yet. And there's a whole laundry list of sponsors too. You name it. builders, ETF applicants, XRP ETF applicants, you name it, folks. This is going to be wild. Okay, check this out. Eric Trump.
I'm at the Bitcoin conference because I believe in cryptocurrencies. I believe that cryptocurrencies are the future. Banking is slow as hell. It's antiquated. It doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense that banks run on 9-to-5 schedules 5 days a week. When cryptocurrency, you can trade it in the middle of the night on a Saturday at 12 p.m. While having dinner with your wife or sitting on the couch, you can trade cryptocurrency. The banks are lethargic. They don't work for everybody. They leave those people behind. They're expensive. They're lethargic. They're not inclusive at all. And I think the modern banking system is changing very quickly. I think it's one of the reasons you see BlackRock spending billions in cryptocurrencies, and Fidelity and Schwab and just about every bank under the sun. It's the future. I mean, why do I have to go all over Abu Dhabi to try and find an ATM if I want to pull out $100? By the time you pull out the money, you lose 30% on it based on currency exchange rates plus fees for the ATM. When you can literally pop open your wallet, you can send a link. It takes you 2 seconds to do, and you don't have all those problems. You don't have all those structural problems. And so there's no question to me that times 100, right? Blockchain. There's nothing that can be done in banking that can't be done more efficiently using blockchain. And blockchain is changing the world, whether or not people like it or not. And there's a lot of people that see it, the people who are here at this conference. There's a lot of people who don't. The people who don't see it are the people who are going to get left behind. And so I believe in this technology, and my family believes in it. My father wants America to be the crypto capital of the world. And
there you go. All right, now check this out. This is from Roger Ver on Tucker Carlson. This was a wild interview.
So it doesn't sound like you're suspicious that Bitcoin was created by the intel agencies as a kind of trap for people.
I don't think it was created that way initially, but I am suspicious, and I do think that the intel agencies and other groups have converted it and hijacked it into becoming a financial trap.
So
what I did is I dropped the Wheezy's tweet showing the talking about how Homeland Security met with the 4 Satoshis, and a funny thing happened. If you go down, look who put exclamation marks underneath that video. One Elon Musk. And I think Roger Ver is wanting to be pardoned, similar to Ross Ulbricht. I think that's what he's going for here. You can go to freerogernow.org. He's got a whole campaign going. And then we've got this Commissioner Crenshaw. The Democrats are trying to, in the dark of night, slide her through when they know that the American people have just repudiated Gary Gensler and her. She was worse than Gary Gensler. There's even they've even got banners going around on trucks, vote no to Crenshaw. Stuart Alderati said, I agree, Commissioner Crenshaw is in some ways even more rogue than Gensler. At least Gensler backed down from after a court said blocking Bitcoin spot ETFs are arbitrary and capricious. Crenshaw, however, continued to vote no, insisting that the court got it wrong in her dissent. Unelected bureaucrats are not above the law. Then Eleanor Terrett said, the markup of Crenshaw has been postponed to this afternoon. Senator Sherrod Brown said attendance was the issue. Senator Tim Scott addressed the change just now in the hearing. The cancellation of today's markup really is disappointing and really sours the tone. It's another example of the dysfunction and lack of transparency that is the last gasp of a lame duck administration. And this is Senator Bill Haggerty. He was pissed.
Let me explain what just happened. I just walked out of a Senate Banking Committee meeting where Chairman Sherrod Brown tried a ruse trick where he brought in 2 new members of the committee, Schiff and Kemp. Just added them in the dark of night last night. They've never met nor vetted the candidates that he brought forward. The candidate that he wanted to jam through, Caroline Crenshaw, the most anti-crypto, anti-markets, pro-ESG candidate they could possibly put forward. There's no way she'd withstand proper vetting. This is a backroom deal that Sherrod Brown, in his last move as chair of the Senate Banking Committee, is trying to jam through. I let my Democrat colleagues know I will have no sympathy on their complaints about our vetting process in the coming Congress, because we at least want to vet our people. They're trying to slide this person through without proper vetting. This has got to stop. This is why the American people voted for Donald Trump, for a Senate majority here, and for a majority in the House.
same shady stuff that they did under Gensler all this time. I am demanding that Microsoft shareholders vote on whether to add XRP to their treasury. It actually works. Has the same limited amount. It's actually fast and scalable, and it's very inexpensive. Scoop up some of that, Microsoft. Oh, this was too easy and too good. Let me tell you what. With the time that I've spent as a stupid XRP YouTuber, according to this Zach Shapiro, who's one of these securities attorneys, what we learned from uncovering EthGate was very simple. You got, with all these Ivy League securities attorneys, 99% of them are they are Ivy League law graduates who all think they're smarter than, they're deep state people, and they all think they're smarter than everybody, which is what got this country into this mess, is that all these DC types think that they're smarter than everyone, when the irony is, I think the Ivy League degree may make them stupid because they've all designated that once they get these degrees from these certain places, therefore they are now smart. And that's the problem with that kind of, when you're patted on the head like that, a lot of times your ego gets in the way of finding out that you're really not that bright. You might have some legal terms memorized, but you're really not that sharp, because I can tell you this for sure. This guy's right here talking about how XRP YouTubers are stupid and all this. Well, guess what? The XRP YouTubers drop kicked you and all your Ivy League attorney buddies when we uncovered EthGate. How you like that, Zach?
If you look at the people who make XRP videos on YouTube, these are some of the least intelligent people in the known universe, right?
Hey, Zach, anytime you want to get on a platform, and we'll talk about EthGate, and we'll talk about intelligence as well as corruption. Let's see how much of it you're willing to even speak on.
Have you seen some Bitcoin maxes?
And speaking of Zach, I retweeted this. I went through Zach's profile. I'm sure he's blocked me by now, but I screenshot this where he's having a discussion about FTX. This guy says, in the absence of a centralized issuer, one has to wonder who the SEC expects to do the securities registration. He says, yep, that's why these acquisitions by FTX matter. They potentially create the infrastructure alongside future regulation legislation amending the securities laws for protocol developers to list security tokens that represent notes or investment contracts in a manageable way. So he thought FTX would be a great infrastructure for this. Okay, so here's this guy. Now, let's remember, Gary Gensler was meeting with FTX. And so these guys, these deep state attorneys, they're all in the same group. They're all there to defend what the SEC is doing. They know that they're having these backroom meetings just like they had in EthGate. That's what they're trying to do, is through regulatory capture to rig the system so that all of them can stay in power and keep their revolving door in the same bullcrap that has destroyed this country. That's what it's about. That's how they all play the game. And that's why they come after people like us who, guess what? They're not the smart ones, folks. Not by a long shot. Speaking of people trying to work in the rigged system, have you ever sat back and thought only Ethereum, FTX, and Prometheum have been able to come in and talk to Gary Gensler and Jay Clayton and actually get something productive done with the SEC? But all of a sudden, the ponytail guy from Prometheum that reminds us of the Karate Kid bad guy, he's nowhere to be found. He was all over the place until Trump got elected. I was just wondering where he is. Okay, we're going to go in DAIXRP.com, and I'm going to show you. And I took the time to go on to CoinMarketCap and create my portfolio. I didn't do the amounts involved. I just did that. I owned one of each digital asset. This way from now on in the group, I can show you very quickly anything. You can see it, and you'll see anything I've added or changed. So I'm going to show you that, and we'll go from there. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that although we XRP YouTubers are, quote, what did he call us? Are we some of the dumbest people? Whatever. I think we know who the real stupid people are. The stupid people are the ones that are so caught up in their own ego and arrogance that they're dumb enough to call a group of people in a blanket statement all stupid. I mean, come on. Come on. Man. Maybe his mommy and daddy got him into his Ivy League law school. That's probably what happened. Here we go.